Cool. Hey guys, this is Q&A with Jim and Jim and everybody else. I appreciate you guys joining us. Again, we do this every other Friday. Hey, if you're on, cool. Turn your cameras on. It's always nice to see shiny faces than rather just a black screen. But yeah, cool. The way this works, if it's your first time, very free flowing. These conversations. We never quite know where it's going to go. We kind of give the highlights of the week, what's been going on, lowlights, any questions you got, feel free. That's the point here. We got owners and managers and vendors and kind of everybody and everybody in between in storage on here. So
All
I
right, Jim,
appreciate it.
real quick,
Yeah.
just so I can say I did it. There
Okay.
he is. That's him. That's him and me. Tell me, it's
Oh,
crazy.
geez. It looks like an AI version. Put the filter over him and it's you in 30
Yeah,
years.
it's really scary. Yeah, he acts. He's got a lot of my traits, but he's got some of his mother's. So you know, but yeah, he works for us now. Get him into business and see what they want to do.
Is he just testing it out, dipping his toe in the water? Does he actually want to make it like a career?
Maybe we'll see. I'm going to take him to the Mid Atlantic Conference with me in May.
Well, there you
Uh,
go.
just get a feel for it. So, but
Take him to that conference and he'll see the rock star his dad is and getting all the selfies and
yeah, yeah, right.
it could happen. Yeah,
It
just
could happen.
pay,
It
pay, a
could
few,
happen.
pay a few people $5 here and there and show off for your son. Cool.
So Jim, we got to start off with what you and I were talking about. How many
Or
people online are on Facebook and saw the article about the girl who locked her boyfriend in the storage unit for 4 days this week? I mean, it's crazy, right? But
did he deserve it?
my first reaction was can't be true because the guy found his phone 4 days later, right? But I'm like thinking about it, and I shared it with my stores and I shared it with several of my colleagues and friends and saying this is the importance of walkthroughs and property checks every day because you never know what's going to happen. Because now supposedly she's being arrested for for kidnapping, and I heard rumor from somebody that the guy is threatening to sue the storage facility for false imprisonment.
Probably has a case too. Not doing walkthroughs, not doing security checks, not, yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as they ask, dear self-storage facility, what is your process for catching people who are in your units? And the self-storage facility says, well, we're supposed to do this.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, it's like the week before I shared one about a guy in Jersey who was working in his unit and lit cardboard on fire in a trash can or bin to keep himself warm, and the entire property caught on fire.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, but we all see it. I mean, we've all seen that thing. I mean, I know when we talked about a session one time where we said, who has had a hurricane, a tornado, a flood, a fire, all those things. And my hand was up for all of them because I've had everything.
We
Now,
all have it.
part
Yeah.
of part of Katrina in New Orleans, I had fires. I've been part of, I mean, people say it'll never happen to me. I don't want to be anywhere near that person, but it's going to happen sooner or later.
I saw on Netflix next week they're having like a documentary about the tornado in Joplin that happened like 12 years ago, maybe something like that. Who knows? It's been a while. But I had a site there and going on. And it wiped out three or four other competitors. And you could see like the track as it was going down, and it came to our site, went like this, and then it went back straight again, which is
Did,
nuts.
have
But
you ever been
it
in Jeff?
affected so many people. So you never know what's going to happen.
Have you ever been in Jeff Greenberger's session where he talks about a facility got sued because there was a hurricane went through, or tornado went through, ripped
Yeah.
the roof off the property, and the owner, the renter, was suing the facility for not keeping it climate controlled. There's no roof,
Okay.
so
That's I mean, don't they get charged with a frivolous lawsuit or something? Like you can't just sue for everything, right?
Yeah. Well, you can sue for anything, but it's not going to get to the next step when it's that.
Right, but isn't there a penalty now for that when you bring a frivolous lawsuit? Doesn't that cost you something?
There should be. I don't know. I'm not the lawyer.
I don't know. I didn't make up that phrase. I heard it somewhere. Somebody
Yeah.
backed me up. Mitchell Pater, you jump on here and you back me up.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just hope that don't happen to me. But up here in Michigan, I don't know. Hopefully my roof's not going anywhere.
Just
Crazy stories though.
if we got anybody new here, if you don't mind, raise your hand or just jump in to say hi and introduce yourself. I'm trying to look to see who's on here, but if you're new, please jump in and say hi.
Yeah, I'm new here. Seeing the notifications pop up for these, but yeah, first time actually joining, and yeah, this is awesome. This is a great resource.
What do you do?
So I'm not. So you can think of me as kind of an owner operator. We have 4 properties, soon to be 5. They're all owned by my parents, but I've taken over the operations with my wife.
Nice.
Cool.
What areas?
There you go.
So we've got 3 up in the North Denver metro area, 1 in North Texas, and then we're soon to be purchasing one and an additional one in North Texas.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
Congrats.
I'm in North Texas. Come see us.
Yeah, we're. Are you out of Dallas?
Good deal. I like Denver too. I go back and forth to Denver, and yeah, anytime I can go see a show at Red Rocks, I go there. So
Oh yeah, those
I
are
like-
awesome.
I love Colorado. Anybody else? Any
This is my
volunteers?
first one.
Oh, is he? Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. You also.
Where are you at?
I am in New Albany, Ohio. I work for Prestige and I am the operations and delinquency manager.
Delinquency manager. I bet you got good stories.
Ugh, everybody just wants to talk to me.
Oh, so like setting like just like the systems and procedures of going through the auctions or what?
We have 63 facilities. I review all the auctions before they are posted, check all the drafts and storage treasures, make sure they're good. Just kind of make sure everybody's not exposing us to all kinds of things that they don't need to be.
Gotcha. So
Izzy,
someone
are
goes
you
wrong, it's their
using
fault.
anything? Are you using anything like late delete or AI lean
yeah.
in the processes?
Oh yeah, late to lean and Charles is my new best friend.
Charles, the only thing about Charles is a super, super nice guy, but he must be a lawyer somewhere on the lines because it's black or it's white. There's no gray with Charles.
Mhm.
And you give Charles something, it's like, well, but that I'm like, Charles, no, this, yeah. So they're great to work with. I absolutely love them. Actually, we just implemented a new email address for our organization because we have people all the time that our stores are constantly calling and calling. They're not responding. They don't respond to emails. We actually added a new phone number to our system and a new email address. It's past dues at Freedom Storage Management. We're having one of our managers act as our internal collection agency, saying, "Hey, Izzy, you owe my quick store facility. You're not responding to emails. You're not responding to phone calls. Where are we at with this? We have you scheduled for auction on this date. We really don't want to do that." And I've done it before at another organization, and actually seems to work because when they see a different email or they see a different phone number, sometimes it sparks them to pick up the phone and do something with it.
I noticed when we first signed up with late to lean and they started sending out the 15-day letters, it caused a huge spike.
Spike
Absolutely.
people paying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, it's all about communication. It's the texts and emails and the cadence and the follow-ups. Yeah. I hate being in the collection business, but that's part of the biz when it comes to storage. I swear.
Yeah.
I just want to get everybody on auto pay and be done with it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, doesn't work that way.
It's
Cool.
funny, Jim, you said that we had part of our presentation in Orlando
Yeah.
is sales and collections, and I actually had a store in December that December 31st had $0 past due.
You
So
lie.
I took it. I swear to God, I took a screenshot of the management summary, and I have it for the presentation. Just because, and Dave Cooper said the same thing. He goes, "Bullshit." I'm like, Dave, I'm telling you, it's a small property, but every person, I've only ever seen that once before, and
I've
it was
never
when I was with Devin. We had a store in Anderson, South Carolina, and 3 months in a row, they collected every penny owed.
I love it. Does that store have a manager?
Well, I mean, it's one of my remote stores, so it runs out of a hub.
Yeah.
Right.
but
Somebody needs a bonus. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
it's like, but I was like, but every month there's always one or two there that always passes, so it's never got to zero. But it got to zero, and I'm like, I'm taking a picture of this because it don't happen.
Take a picture and frame that for your wall. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't care if it's even like it's kind of the smaller sites or something like that. Doesn't matter. That's just that they're doing something right if you can pull that off.
Hey, Dave Reed, how's the Great Northwest treating you in Seattle? Are you in Hawaii right now?
Yeah, in the Northwest, it's beautiful. It's like 55 degrees out. So everyone's like, I'm sure people will be at work all day today, hopefully.
I said to something the other day. I mean, we're getting all this nice weather, but Mother Nature's going to throw something at us in the middle of March somewhere and get a snowstorm somewhere on the lines. Whether it's going to be up with Mitchell in Michigan or you in the north, somewhere we're going to get some snow somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was cold and 30 degrees and rainy like 4 days ago. And then the last 2 days, it's been beautiful. So we'll see.
I know we need
We'll take
snow.
it.
We need snow in Dallas, Texas for Shannon because she needs snow.
I've had plenty, and I will just tell you, we've reached the 2 week period where everybody longs to live here, where it's low of 50, high of 70 every day. The sun is shining. It's like, oh, it is feeding my soul right now is what's happening.
You couldn't pay me to move to Texas with the heat in the summertime.
I
No
tell you
way.
what, I'll come stay with you in August. You come stay with me in February when it's 70, okay?
That works.
Speaking of Texas, again, part of the having this group here is we get a lot of different perspectives and experiences and things like that. Have a site down there that it's as old as me, so it's old. It's literally it's 50 years old. And it looks like it, frankly. And I've gone in and I've updated the website, answering all the calls, do everything we can to make it, good first impression. But we're struggling. It's one of these sites, so all the new players are coming in, they're all bright and shiny. I'm just wondering any collective experience of trying to have these older locations trying to compete against the big boys. Any thoughts on that? Please just jump in. I'm all ears.
Anna put her hand up. Anna, what do you got?
Cool.
So I'm like a minnow compared to you guys. I hear you guys talking about like multiple sites. I'm Anna, by the way. I manage 250. We have 250 units here. That's it. So
Okay.
the stuff I'm hearing from you guys is, but I've gotten down to 0% at least twice, which is good. Right now we're experiencing some vacancies. There's a lot of new facilities coming in, and they're actually starting to like, because we're the best priced in town. We always boast that. That's kind of like our thing. We have a lot of people come in here that are on, they're on disability or they're on a fixed income. So we kind of boast that a lot. But yeah, we have these new facilities coming in that are they're undercutting us so that they can get filled. And so we're experiencing some vacancies right now. So the last time we watched your guys' show, because me and my boss both watch it, but anyway, last time we watched your guys' show, we learned about the EDDM, and that was like mind blowing. And so we're actually going to get that set up. We're going to see how that works, see if we can get our units filled. So that's exciting. But that's one way that we decided probably would be a very good start is getting out there and getting some kind of advertising because there's a lot of people that don't know we exist.
Yeah. And what specifically, what was that advertising you were going to do? I missed that.
EDDM, so every door direct mailing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to decide how to go about doing that. There's a lot of different ways. We can pay somebody to do it. We can do it ourselves. It sounds like the paperwork is the more like where it's like maybe we don't do it ourselves. But in watching you guys, maybe we do it ourselves.
Yeah,
Ah,
and on that tip there, you just have to follow like certain guidelines into the formatting of the direct mail piece. So like if you do bring it in-house, like if you can nail that, then bringing it in-house, you could, create your own postcard, right? And then it's just postage. But I've found because we do that a lot. I found that you can pick there's like the local routes, and then there's a way to get the mail even cheaper yet. So you could do like we're doing one right now, 10,000 letters, and we're getting them at 20 cents a piece. So obviously you can't pay 50 cents on a postage sticker and get cheaper than that. So there is ways to do mass bulk mailing too and get it cheaper yet, and that you can get a design made too. So I've just went the route of paying for it, but if you go down that rabbit hole of like and have success with it, I'd like to learn a little bit, but I just been paying. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking about starting with one route. It has 30 businesses on it, 960 residential homes on it, and it's just about 1,000. And I hear you guys talking about like, giant numbers. Is that bad to start out with just 1,000? Because we were just thinking of something small just to kind of, spread it out and throughout the town. Should we go bigger?
I don't know. It depends on your occupancy personally. And then, I direct mail is you do need to cast a large net. So you're gonna probably have a couple phone calls off that. So me personally, if I'm in lease up, which I am, I'm throwing out everything I can to let everyone know, one, that I'm there, and just kind of get the word out, one, and then two, obviously if I get them on a promotion, and sometimes I'll get a call 3 months later too from that postcard too. So I would go a little bit long. I'd go a little bit wider if your budget can. And then of course, if you're at 85%, I wouldn't be doing 10,000 letters. But yeah, preference, I would say.
What's your cadence? Are you hitting the same house again 3, 4 months later?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of early in the whole direct mail
Yeah.
thing, but I am doing quarterly, and I think we talked about this last time, but it is kind of like spring sales, spring season cleanup, you know, and I'm in heavy lease up. So I'm just sending, to the major cities around me and letting everyone know, and, best price in town, all the verbiage, but yeah, I'll probably be doing another one with maybe a different style promotion or something every quarter.
Yeah, change it up. And then
Yeah.
I'm sure we did this last time too, but Anna, just make sure you do have a tracking number on there, just because don't leave it up to, oh, how'd you hear about us? That kind of thing. Just do a tracking number. I would just be curious how many calls it even generated.
Yeah.
Don't even care about the realm, don't even care about that, just how many calls did it actually
We're thinking about advertising just one special certain deal on the card, and then that way we know from that, they're calling and they're saying, "Oh, I heard you have this deal,"
Yep,
Anna, have you done anything with your existing tenants? Because existing tenants are your best source. I mean, I would put a good referral program out there for your existing customers. Say, hey, send, whether, I mean, I know people, Universal's always been great about, they do gift cards or cash. I mean, but you utilize your in-house people for that. If you got people been there long term, roll out a referral program to them saying, hey, anybody you
Yeah.
send us, they're going to get 50, 100, whatever you want to do, but tap into your existing people as well, because they're your best source of referrals.
For sure.
Any uh storage software people on here, please make like a referral, some kind of plugin, some kind of referral system that's directly within the storage software that
Yeah.
is very easy to track, some sort of a link. I don't care. I mean, look at the affiliates out there for different kind of softwares and stuff. They have affiliate trackers. I want that. I just want like an affiliate tracker for storage softwares that we can use for our current customers to send out for referrals.
Jim,
Make
for
it
the
very easy.
property you're talking about, I mean, could new lights, better cameras, banner saying under new management, any of that stuff draw some attention to it? I mean, I know he's not on here, but Paul does a great job painting the properties. I mean, we're actually got a quote from him to paint one of our facilities up here in Pennsylvania. Because fresh paint, or as some people call it, lipstick on a pig, sometimes works.
Yeah.
But paint, banners, I mean, we actually had success at one of our properties. We just installed brand new cameras on all of them, and they all have, we talked about before, the motion lights. So when you, especially when you're going by, the lights come on so they know that. So we've had some good success with that as well, of just freshening up some of the security features of our properties.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, and this kind of prompted me to, again, that's kind of selfish, but I do just do any kind of marketing, anything I can try to get some sort, even not even an edge, just to get a few extra eyeballs, and extra eyeballs means extra rentals. So I'm actually putting together, well, it's actually put together, it's gonna launch it, like a marketing workshop. I don't know if they're on here, but I got Eva Chavez from Beacon Avenue Marketing. She's doing a couple presentations that she's recorded for it. I got Gabe Thane from Marketing.Storage. He recorded some sessions. I recorded some sessions. So it's gonna be the three of us doing like a marketing storage 2025, kind of what's working now. Kind of again scratching my own itch because I'm going through the whole thing and implementing everything I can for these kind of sites. So I'll definitely before we wrap up here, I'll show you guys where the hub you can go to start watching for this because I'll be launching that probably. I'll do it in March. I'll get that launched, but it's those kind of things. It's the little tactics, little things like that. They're like, oh, cool, I should try that, and because I think we can all agree we all need a few extra rentals right now because it's tight. At least for all the sites that I run, it's yeah, we're scratching and clawing for every rental we can get.
That's true. And
We
Jim,
talked
the only
about-
other thing I was thinking is that unfortunately, when you're dealing with a 50-year-old property that looks 50 years old, you are never going to win on amenities. Like you're not ever going to win a woman like me who is going to pay more to go to the fully indoor climate controlled building up the street.
Yep.
I don't care how cheap your unit is. That's just not what I want for storage, right? So your claim to fame is going to be budget.
Yeah, when I talk to the owners, I'm very. I think everyone knows me well enough now that I'm very kind of black and white, and I'll just tell it like it is. It's like you're the Motel 6 out of, and the other ones are the Hiltons. That's just kind of how it is, and so you have to factor that kind of budget, what they're charging, play off of that. Very realistic. So yeah, we're already kind of like I was talking about the best bargain, best value in town kind of thing. You have to hang your hat on that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, gosh, I hate to do this when it's not fully occupied, but you're probably looking at some CapEx too.
Yeah, that's always I love self-storage owners. You gotta
We got to ask them for money when they're
you gotta
facilities
ring it
and
out of them like I need
maintenance.
some money. I know. Yep, exactly. But painting, that's actually the number one thing. Well, I got everybody here. Again, you got the local painters, and I've seen some what local painters do, and holy crap, it's a crap show. I didn't swear. I've seen at some of the trade shows and things like that. There's like the storage painters, people that have like affiliates throughout. Has anyone dealt with those guys or know what I mean?
One.
John Paul Collins.
I didn't hear what?
John Paul Collins is a guy I've been working with. I asked him to come on one time, but he's not here. But he does stuff nationally, but he's got connections in a lot of places. But when we were talking about painting the building, one owner said, "Well, I got a friend who can paint it," and I can tell you that I've seen properties that have been painted by people that aren't professionals, and they're painting latches and they're painting the rubber on the doors and they're painting the locks. So if you're going to paint, make sure you investigate your painter to make sure he's quality, that he knows what he's doing. He's not just coming out spraying the entire property. Because we bought a property like that went. It used to be called Mint Self Storage. The doors are like mint green, and they painted it, and it's like, yo, wow. So
The worst one I saw, which is actually fairly recently, they didn't scrape it down earlier. They just painted right over the top of the current paint, so it looks good.
With all the dust and whatever on there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they painted over like they had locks, but they just painted over the locks. They had some tape, they painted over the tape. But then for the worst part was the unit numbers. They literally just got a black paintbrush. Unit number 2, unit number 5. Yeah. I was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
dear.
Yeah. It's like if that was my site, I'd be flipping. But
Livid.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely not worth the money. Well, I met a woman, she's with CertaPro Painters, which is they're like a national, probably franchise situation. But she was really trying to get their professional painters more into the self-storage industry. I've actually seen her, gosh, probably the last 2 or 3 national shows. So I assume she's making some headway because it would be really expensive to travel across the country and go put your name out there if you weren't getting any business from it. So I'll be happy to put her information. I've not used her. This isn't a personal recommendation, but I've seen her around and she's been around for a little while. So
I'm
perfect.
dropping one in the chat right now that I've gotten a quote from them. National Storage Painting Services are pretty they're pretty good people. I've known Paul for a little bit
Who I'm
now.
thinking of. I think that's who I'm thinking of. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and actually on the quote I got from them for the one property, it says, it's a detailed quote. It says pressure washer prepping, priming, painting doors, bodies, gutters, roofline trim, placard, unit numbers. It's a whole detailed quote on what they do for you when they give you a quote to paint your property. So if you're looking at doing something like that, make sure you know what they're going to get for you.
well, and on the flip side of that, for Jim Ross, when you're talking with that owner, don't let him pick and choose and say, I just want it painted. I am not paying all this extra money for all this extra junk on Jim Mooney's quote over here, because I've seen that too. And it is, you definitely get what you pay for,
Yeah.
right?
That's all that is. I don't care what vendor you talk about. You get what you pay for. It's just, yeah. You see it time and time again, especially when you start nickel and diming certain things, and
Yeah.
it always comes back to bite you in the
I'm
butt.
not gonna pay for pressure washing. Okay, well, you're gonna pay for paint that slides off your door after looking like crap for 6 months. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Also, ask for references. References are huge. Hey, who can you refer to me that you've done work for in the past that I can talk to?
That I can go see their facility even better because their buddies could be telling you whatever they want over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. True. All right. Anyway, I took over that spot though, but thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Any other questions, comments, anything you guys want to jump in? Otherwise, I got something I'm going to show you here in a second. But yeah, Dave.
Yeah, I was just wondering if your facilities have the remote access via an app. We've got facilities that have large RV, and just wondering if you have the app, so they don't have to get out of their car or RV. There's the first question. The more importantly is are you charging any kind of, like $3 a month, or are you just throwing it in there just to increase occupancy?
Yeah, and I want to make sure the app you're asking, referring
So
to.
so instead of getting out of their car, they go
Oh,
they
just
use the
any app,
keypad.
generic
Yeah.
app. Okay.
Yeah, just an app. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah, I
probably
know
have
that
like
comes with the
PTI
keypad.
or something for your gate access.
Yeah, we have PTI and StoreGuard, and yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah, I have it at a number of locations. I currently just have it on there as access as part of the rental. I don't charge
part of the rental.
charge on it, but I know plenty of people that do that charge $5 a month for those kind of apps.
Technology fee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I would test it. Why not? I
Yeah.
mean, people do it.
Right.
Do you already have it installed, or are you looking to install it?
We have PTI at one of our properties, and we have the app, and it works well. And then we've got about
Yeah.
800 RV spots there, so that's a no-brainer. But
Oh,
our other
yeah.
facilities that have, kind of 200-300 units and smaller RV, we're looking at getting it on. But I was just wondering what you're charging, or if it's just thrown in there as opposed to to increase occupancy.
I mean, it's your choice, but if you're looking at charging, that's what I've seen. And kind of ask everybody else, but I've seen like $5 has kind of been the amount that I've seen most people hitting when it comes to like the technology fee.
Yeah, I've seen 5, I've seen 7, I've seen 10. We use Spider Door a lot for our properties. Most people don't want another app on their phone, so we don't give it out to everybody. I mean, if they want it, they can have it. But we have a property in Tennessee that's got a lot of RVs and boats and stuff like that, so it does make it convenient for them. I was actually just on a webinar yesterday for Brad Minsley's for 10 Federal and DaVinci. They're rolling out a new feature, a QR release one. And Brad said the same thing yesterday, that most people don't want to install another app on their phone. I mean, I know I don't. I mean,
App fatigue.
another thing for the phone. So
Well, I missed that webinar yesterday. Was that mainly the access where you can say text or text a code? Okay.
basically, it's this QR code on the fence. You scan the QR code, it goes through the thing and opens the gate for you and all that stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
That's what they've had for on 10 federal sites. Now they're just rolling it out to
Well,
other-
now they're rolling out to everybody else. It's a device that goes on the fence. And really, in Brad's mind, they're going to get rid of keypads at their property to just use this app. I see, like, if I send my brother down to my unit, he's not going to have won't work with that phone. So there are some things with that. But Brad's a super smart guy, and he's always coming up with different things. And he's the one who Jim, you saw he's got a drone on some of his property that will fly around at night to follow people around.
Yeah.
They actually had a robot in one of their buildings that would go down around people. So
Now, I'll give it to Brad. He's always been on the forefront of that kind of stuff, of pushing the tech.
Hey, Jim, you were
Yeah.
talking about this, attending this, listening to this Brad's, was it a conference that he was on or a webinar?
Webinar.
it was a
webinar.
10-minute webinar yesterday. But he'll be at I know he said that they'll be at Orlando, and at their booth they'll be displaying it and showing it off. So anybody going to Orlando, they can stop by and see 10 Federal's booth. But yeah,
Is that
Well-
webinar every week or?
it was just a one-time one that came out for it. I know I think he's gonna have 2 more coming up soon. But I'm sure if you go to talk to DaVinci or go to their website, they'll probably have a list of the websites.
Okay. Thank
Shannon,
you.
you guys have an app.
We
Don't you guys
do.
have an app? So what's the ratio of people who are actually using your app?
So anybody who doesn't already have a PTI app essentially probably would use ours because we automatically, like, if they're already using PTI, which opens the gate, we're not, it's like, nobody's going to download 2 apps, right? As hard as it is to get them to download one, they're definitely not going to do 2. But our app is geared more towards the what the tenant has stored in their unit, and teaser for Orlando, because we're 2 weeks out from that. Keep an eye out for 2.0. There's some new features that are going to be in there as well. But it's geared towards the tenant so that they can check their balance, make their payment, check their last payment, to make sure what went through. They can share their gate code, with somebody if they need to, or find their gate code for that matter, because we know that's why people call so often. Find their unit number. They can take pictures and upload it of what's in their unit and even make notes about that. I don't see that people use it a lot for the connection capability, which is certainly in there. You can live chat from it or connect to the website or anything like that. Really, it is where we see it having the most use are balance inquiries and payments to keep them from calling your store, Jim, because I mean, you just know for 10 days out of the month, you get crushed with phone calls of how much do I owe? What day is my bill due? What happens if I only pay half? And then finally they make a payment, right? If you can route those through an automated system, which, we have that by phone as well. But if you give them a do-it-yourself option, people find that they have been served, right? They call it the best customer service when they can serve themselves at a moment's notice. So it's definitely a good option, but I fully recognize if somebody's already using an app for something else on the property, so that would be a DaVinci or a PTI or something like that. There's not going to be a whole lot of value in having 2. That's for sure.
Shannon, you raised a very interesting point. It's something we've talked about before. Through your IVR payment system, do you guys ever report back to your customers? Or, I mean, I know I track it for my own internal purpose, so I know how much is paid through the IVR with the center we're using for payments. But for managers to understand how much time, effort, and savings they get by having the call center, having that technology to pay the IVR. I mean, last month for my 30 stores, I had about $160,000 in payments through the IVR.
Yep. And I would tell you one other thing that we often tell people is that for every payment transaction that you see, because of course they see the actual transactions and the rental amount. But what you don't see are all of those other calls that I was talking about, the balance inquiries and what I call the I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today calls. If you have an automated method for those, then you're saving your team 3 times the amount. Every time you get a payment, you saved yourself 3 phone calls. And let's just say, I got a calculator here. I'm gonna do some quick math. So let's just say they're typically what, a 3-minute call, and they call 3 times. So there's 9 for a facility. So if you have, I don't know, we'll call it a medium 600 unit facility, and they have 80% on auto pay, that still leaves you 120. Of course, that's assuming your occupancy is at 100%, which I know we're not, but still 120 people times 9 minutes. That's over 1,080 minutes of talk time, not including stop what you're doing and pick up the phone for someone who's answering those phone calls. It's insane. It's insane any way that you can automate those 100%. Yeah. IVR for sure. That is 100% an option. I would
Well,
make
explain
sure
that because
any
Gary
kind
just
of way.
questioned Gary just questioned IVR.
He just questioned, IVR. That is an automated payment system where it asks you to plug in your phone number. It verifies your account balance, and then you can plug in your credit card number and make the payment. People have been doing this for so long with electric bills and utility bills and things like that, and that's available in self-storage as well. And it makes such a difference. So anybody who has the ability to put in what we call an automated attendant, press 1, press 2, before anybody reaches your store manager, I highly recommend putting in an option for an IVR. There are lots of companies that offer that, including mine. Please call me. I will be happy to help you. But any one of them will help you, but I would try to keep those from your managers so bad, because I say those calls are 3 minutes long, but when your manager gets on the phone with somebody who wants to explain about their mom's debit card and the paycheck didn't go through and the thing and the stuff and the people and my uncle and all of those things, they can be longer than 3 minutes really quick.
Well, the other nice thing about the IVR, it only allows you to pay what's due. It won't allow partial, won't allow any of those things.
Correct. And there's no negotiation.
Question for your IVR, does your system automatically recognize the phone number it's calling from?
No, it does not. Well, let me take that back. It does, but it does not assume that's the number you want to pay for. So what it'll say is, I see you're calling from 555-1212. Is this the number you want to pay for? So one person can make a payment for somebody else. Because that's one of the things we've seen with those is that when it automatically recognizes, it also won't let you not like, if that's not the number that your account is on, it can't find you, so to speak.
Yeah. And your IVR is 24/7, right?
It sure is. Yeah.
So that's a great thing. I mean, we utilize ours a lot. Actually, now, when I said this before, Shannon, in our office, we will not take a phone payment in our office. If you want to pay my manager over the phone, we're going to charge you a $5.95 phone payment fee.
Yeah.
Not because I want the money. We want to retrain you.
Right.
And they'll say, well, I don't want to pay it. Okay, well, call back, dial the number, press option 2 and pay your bill.
Right. Well, and I mean, I would highly recommend that your manager knows the reason for that, so that they don't present that as, I mean, this is just corporate charges a fee. I want your tenants to know the reason we do that is to discourage you from giving me, a live human being, your credit card number over the phone. I'm standing in a public space, and that's not safe for you. So I'll take your payment because I want to have it, but I recommend the website is free, the app is free, the IVR is free, and safe and safe and safe. So
exactly. So.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna take like 5 minutes. I just want to show something to you guys that I think could be a good resource. I've been asked for these recordings for the past, and people that know me, I've done a lot of content and stuff and over the years with summits and things like that. So finally did the brain damage, and I sat down over the weekend and put it all in one hub. So I just want to show you how to access this stuff. So let me put it in. I'll put it in chat.
And it does work because I did it this morning.
I know I had you test it because otherwise, yeah, I don't trust myself. 3milestoragenetwork.com. That's just the basic domain. What that's going to do, I'll show you real quick here. I'll give you the 2-second tour here. So it's going to bring you to this. It's all free. Just an email, give me your name. Once you join, you'll get the login instructions. Cool. It's going to bring you to this. So essentially what this is going to be, I'll give you the quick little tour. This is the marketing summit that's coming here soon. I'll probably get that launched. Give me a week or two. I'll throw everything in there, the sessions for that. Again, we go over kind of like I think it was Gabe did like lessons he's learned and doing audits for storage sites. Best practices when it comes to pay-per-clicks, converting websites. Of course, I'm doing the Google business optimization sessions, things like that. It's all going to be there. This kind of show what it looks like. You click into them. I have all these courses, all sorts of stuff. This brings back some memories. You want to see how people age. It's kind of depressing, actually. But yeah, you go through it and you can kind of see the sessions we've done in the past. Got Tommy and Warren and Tron, all sorts of people.
Look how dark your hair is, Jim.
I know. This back when I stopped dyeing it. Reality. Then here's our Q&As. Going back for a year. It's amazing. That's all there. So yeah, go around, play with it. And I want to get your thoughts on this. I just threw it here just to kind of convince myself I want to test this out. Again, we're talking about vendors and that kind of stuff. I would love just to kind of test that, get the ball rolling. It's blank right now for this vendor boost. Anybody that wants to book a time, record one on your own, don't care. But do like someone's coming to your booth. What do you do? What questions do you answer? Do you do like a demo? That kind of stuff. I would love to have a resource that's just there rather than just, hey, click here, go to our website. Cool. No, I want a little more hands-on demo of what you actually do and see it in action. So I was thinking about having a section there. We'll have all sorts of different things for, again, different kind of vendors, your call centers, your management companies, your other vendors, you name it. Kind of put that there as a again, the whole point is going to be like a resource. But that's what I'm going for here. But anyway, it's very simple. There's nowhere else to jump off or other kind of places to go. It's all just right here on one page. So hopefully will be a good resource, and I'll keep building on it from there. But I already got a crap ton of content. It's already on there right now. I threw everything over there on the weekend. So go play with it.
I can tell you, Jim, I was playing around there earlier and I actually watched a couple of the older ones. Like, oh, wow, that's still, so having it all in one spot is definitely, thank you very much for that, because it's always, where did I see that? Where did I learn that? Go back to it. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do like the YouTube and do playlists and crap like that. It's just, it gets muddled so quickly. So just trying to put it all there. And then I'd like to be able to get not just my stuff. I'm reaching out to some other guys that are doing content and I'll put theirs on there as well. So that'll be fun. Anyway, hopefully go through it. Give me some feedback. You can email me, message me. I'm not hard to find. Tell me you like it. Tell me it sucks. I don't care. But yeah, let me know. And we got like 15 more minutes, guys. I always keep these kind of pretty tight for that hour. So what else we got? Questions, comments?
Yeah, I have a question on whether anybody has any experience with Noki Smart Entry or any of those smart locks that you can install on the doors. For us, I think the reason for it is there, but I would hate to have buyer's remorse. So if you have any actual like reliability feedback.
Are you building
never personally
new or
used it, so-
retrofitting?
It's a retrofit.
Okay.
Anybody want to jump in on this one? I've never personally have done it. I know the retrofitting is like what, 330, 350, kind of in that range from what I've heard.
It really depends on the site layout. Like the number of buildings has a really big impact on the networking costs. But yeah, it's probably around 320, 330 a door.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And
Dominic, is
that's pretty significant, right?
it
100%.
one level facility or multi-level, or what are you looking at?
No, it's just a drive up facility.
What's your occupancy?
It's like 100%.
Okay. I
So
mean,
my
that's a big factor.
my question for you is, can you add value to the property by spending that kind of money? Is it a value add proposition? Because I've seen people who used it, and I've heard good, I've heard bad. I've never used it. But can you increase the value of the property? Can you increase the value of the rentals by going that route with the product?
I mean, I think so. I mean, from a personal perspective, I would imagine that people would be willing to pay more for the security aspect, and then also the convenience of being able to share your digital key. And it also opens up a lot of possibilities for like 24/7 access, being able to charge for that, package delivery. So I think there's a value add there. I'm not sure what the math would work out to be. But just from like a remote management perspective, it would really alleviate a lot of the mundane, repetitive tasks that require somebody to be there on the property.
Yeah, I know,
I can tell you, we went old school, and we're using Da Vinci locks versus the Noki locks for the properties. And we have managers put them on, and the customers take them off with the drop boxes.
It sounds like Dominic's trying not to have people have to go around and do that. And I hear you on that. And we have hundreds of stores that we service that use Noki. In your specific situation though, and when you're looking for convenience, right? I heard that word from you. It is going to be incredibly inconvenient for you to get every single one of your clients to let you open their unit so you can retrofit their door. That is going to be such a ginormous undertaking that, and I don't see, if you're raising the value of the door by $330, that tenant is also not going to say, oh yes, and please charge me more. Right, to get that up there. So I personally consider Noki a fabulous, fabulous product. And if I were building a self-storage facility, especially if I were going to have it run remotely, it would be a no-brainer for me. A retrofit that's 100% occupied, no, it's not a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah.
Have one
Yeah.
with 1,200 units, but it is a new facility, so it was built with Noki, and tenants absolutely love it, and the manager absolutely loves it because you can do everything. You don't need to be there. So from a customer perspective, from a company perspective, it's a ridiculously expensive proposition. But once it's in, the tenants love it. And we opened in the end of September, and we're 40% occupied on 1,200 units. So we've had a really nice run. And it's super reliable. The caveat is it's super expensive. And I agree with Shannon. I don't know on a retrofit how that would work. We do not, the facility is in high-end part of New Jersey, and we don't add on a tech fee or something else, but we're getting it in the rate. So,
And a
but-
question on that: is it the hardwired version or the Bluetooth like wireless mesh, where it's the smart latch?
Yeah, it's the Bluetooth.
Okay. And so it's been pretty reliable. You don't have any major hiccups with customers getting access?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up the rest of the meeting, but yeah, I was just curious on that.
The versions out now are a lot more reliable when they first came out. Let's just put it that way.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked with Jonah from Smart Lock Storage, and he lives and dies by the Noki stuff. But he also went through like 3 different versions to finally get one that he likes. And that's just part of any new technology. Like when it first comes out, I get it, going through that. But the people that use it absolutely love it, frankly. But kind of like how we started the conversation off with, it just depends if it's worth it to retrofit. And That I hear, I don't hear very often that people are actually retrofitting. It's mostly for new builds. That again, just in my little world, from what I've been hearing from people, there you go.
Well,
So
if we do decide to do it, I'll keep you guys updated.
yeah, I mean, same thing we always talk about. You know, call them and say, hey, I want 5 people that retrofitted, and I want to hear their experiences, and call those owners.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep. Much better than listen to a salesperson. Talk to someone that's actually seriously, someone that's
Yeah.
actually put it on there. All right. Anything else we got, guys?
I got a question. How's inquiry traffic been in February? I mean, I know a lot of us had snow in January. I mean, we're starting to see hopefully signs of spring and things are popping up a little bit and working the leads. I mean, Shad, I mean, are you seeing more leads and inquiries through the call center in February than you were previously?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have seen the seasonality really kind of flatten out over the last few years where there's still a spike later on in the spring, summer. But January of this year was like January over January number call per store was higher than it's ever been. So, I mean, people are definitely still out there. They're definitely still looking. That said, still 80% of what we do is customer support. I wish I could tell you they were all prospect calls. So I would say whatever calls you do get for that, they are gold, and treat them accordingly.
Well, I can tell you that I just worked with a client in California. I've been working with for about a year now, and looked at their report for February on a call on Monday. Their rentals and traffic in February were higher than they were last February. And I asked the question to everybody on the call. I said, "What are you attributing this to?" And they actually said, "Well, we're logging the calls in and following up with them." Because the question I asked was, "How many of your rentals were ones that you actually had to follow up with?" And the answer was 82% of the rentals they had in February were ones that they had to go back and follow up with after they inquired. So people are shopping, they're seeing more shoppers. And that's where, we talk all the time about the thank you call the next morning is critical. We don't want to be the cheapest price in town, but better service, better quality. When you follow up with them, if you're there when they're looking, you're going to get a rental.
Working the leads for sure. I know we got Michael here from Cubby. Got to throw you a little softball pitch here, but yeah, when I switched over to Cubby, just having that leads there, and I see how far along they got in the rental process. Just makes it easy to follow up and seeing tracking them. All right, is it a good lead? Is it an ice cold lead? Is it a hot lead? So no, I really appreciate that. If you want to talk for 2 seconds about it, go ahead if you want. We've got few minutes.
Yeah. Happy to talk with whomever, but we make it really easy to track and follow up with your leads in the back end of Cubby. And then on the front end of the website, we actually come from like out of industry as a team. So other verticals of real estate and e-commerce on our team. So our checkout process is very efficient. Basically, we move the payment step as early on in the process as possible, and then do the signed lease and all the other what I politely call BS afterwards. But we typically see, and Jim can speak to his own example, but we typically see conversion rates on the website and just total online rentals go up for most of our 250 plus customers that have made the jump.
Right.
Michael, who's going to be in Orlando for you guys?
Yeah, we got a pretty big contingent. It'll be me, our other sales guy for the east half of the US, Tully, our CEO Matt, and then a couple of our like customer success folks. So we'll have a booth out there. 5:30, I think, is the number, but you also can reach out to me directly.
I love.
Very
Who else is going to be there?
I thought you meant
Cubby,
yeah.
clearly.
I think some folks on this call are going to be there.
Yeah, too far from me. I'm not.
You're out. Jim Mooney.
I'm
Oh,
speaking.
you're speaking, aren't you?
Speaking.
Yes, I'm speaking.
Yeah. I forgot. Michelle, I see you at shows. Are you going to be in Orlando?
Jennifer Bowman, you'll be there for Right Move, won't you?
I won't be there. I won't be there, but we do have a booth at the show.
Yep.
So
I will be there for Right Move. I won't have a booth, but I'll be walking around with Darren Kelly on Wednesday, and he's flying in and out, but I'll be there all days with Right Move.
Nice.
Got it. And
Also,
it looks like Josh had to pop off, but I'm certain that he will be there.
uh, just a quick plug, by the way, we're doing an event Thursday night at the show. I think Jennifer's coming. But you know,
Yes.
it's at a local spot with some live music and all that good stuff. So feel free to reach out if you want the deets, and we can get you in there. So
Michael, only if you get Matt to do karaoke.
I don't think I've ever gotten him drunk enough to do karaoke, but we'll see. I don't know.
We can try.
There's a first time for everything.
I'll tell him that Jim Mooney wants him to do it, and then he'll sign up for Cubby. So
There you go.
But yes, Michael, I look forward to meeting you, and I am going to be coming by your booth with Darren.
Great. Same here.
I'd love to see you as well, Jennifer, if you're going to be touring the floor. We're in the XPS
Yes.
booth.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I've been in the industry a while, a handful of years, but I'm recently fairly new with Right Move. I joined Right Move with Darren Kelly back in October, and now I'm doing the third party management with him and getting back out there and introducing myself. And like I said, I've been in the industry a while, but I was also gone for a couple years. So I'm back, and I'm really liking the third party management part of it. I sold technology for the other part of it, and it was great. So this is a different avenue for me, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it's a good fit for me.
I love it. Welcome home.
Well, thank you. And you know what? It is home. Just as much as I swear I'll never be back. Well, here I am.
They
Shannon,
always come back. They always come back.
Shannon, Jennifer's the
fun.
older
I
sister I
love
never
it.
wanted.
Oh, you know what? Good.
Oh,
She and I
well.
definitely need to talk then,
If
Jennifer.
it wasn't for that one, I probably wouldn't be back, but I can't quit Jim Mooney for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Just can't
So
quit.
yeah, I will definitely come by and introduce myself. Like I said, we're not going to have a booth. Darren will be there less than 24 hours. He's got to scoot to get to New York for his daughter's softball tournament, but I will be there, and I look forward to seeing everybody, and I'll come put a face to name and all the things.
Love it. Thanks,
Yeah,
Jennifer.
thank you guys.
Cool. Well, sounds good, guys. That's been an hour. It goes by fast. Appreciate everyone jumping on here. We'll do it again here in a couple weeks. Again, you can go check on that 3milestorage.network.com and see some of the old footage and see how we've all aged over the years. It's kind of fun. All
Just
right.
you. Just you.
I know. Well, me are.
Jim
but yeah,
Mooney's age, trust me.
it is depressing. All right. Thanks so much,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
All right,
See you
take
next
care.
time.